So it's time to get a little bit serious here. If it wasn't for these 7 fragrances, this channel wouldn't exist. It's kind of crazy to think about. These beloved fragrances are the reason why I'm able to share my passion for fragrances with a couple of you guys. We're not going to go through this one with a depressing tone, though. I mean, this is cool in a way. It's kind of truly remarkable because these fragrances, they really helped to ignite my passion, and they were enough to really get me going here, and they made me want to share my experiences with fragrances with you guys. So in a way, it's really quite cool. It's cool to look back on these and see how a lot of these are actually still very prominent. Now, it's not like I started 10 years ago or anything like that. I started back in 2017. We're looking at 4 years or so going on that. And so that's just kind of where we're at. And it's cool to see my progression where when you look at these, they all kind of have something in common. And then you compare that to what I'm into now in terms of fragrances. It's pretty cool to see the progress. So today we have 7 fragrances that I've been wearing consistently since the very beginning of my collecting hobby. I will link these up down below, so if you have any interest in any of these, you can check them out. Or you can also hit the Fragrance Net 35% off link down below and do your shopping. If you've been wanting to pick some stuff up, hitting that link first will automatically apply the current best discount so you can save the most amount of money. Again, this is important stuff right here, and I think that we just need to slide right through it. And we're going to kick things off with an obvious one. Obvious to me, obvious to a lot of you OGs out there. YouTube has this feature where for some people, if you have your subscription set to public, it'll actually show me how long you've been subscribed. And there are people who have been subscribed for 2, 3, 4+ years. It shows me that sometimes, and it's always just so honoring to see people sticking around for that long and still commenting. And so those people will understand that this fragrance here plays a massive role in just myself and where I kind of started here. It's got incense, patchouli, and sea notes. It's a nice, mysterious, smoky nighttime version of Acqua di Gio. On the surface level, this may be a meaningless fragrance to a lot of people. You may just see this as an Acqua di Gio flanker and that's it. But to me, it's so much more than that. It's one I've been rocking since the beginning, and it's one that really kind of ignited my passion for this hobby. And really, without this one, I would not be here today. And also, it's really cool to see that this one is still kicking butt and going crazy hard. Discontinuation rumors aside, that stuff's a beast, and I'm glad to see that it's still getting the attention it deserves. L'Homme by Yves Saint Laurent. This gorgeous, magnificent looking 200 ml bottle. Obviously, this is not my OG bottle. I don't know if I still have my OG bottle. I really am now questioning this. I want to go look, but I don't want to. So we'll view that after the fact, right? I know I have a 100 ml that I've more recently picked up that's like a 2012. I have also more recently picked up this 200 ml, which is also an older batch, but I have also, or at one point had an original 100 ml, which was my first bottle of this, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't even know if I have that one anymore. Ginger, spices, and bergamot are just a couple of the notes here. Really, it's all you need to know. It's a warm, spicy, gentleman scent. To this day, I maintain this as being one of the most gentlemanly smelling fragrances ever. Like, seriously, it does not get much better than this. It has this apple note, smells like fall time, smells like an apple orchard, smells like a nice well-dressed guy with manners who is mature and well-spoken. So not me, but I try, right? And this makes me feel great. It works. And I remember smelling this at the very, very beginning and being like, wow, this is incredible. This is out there. There are other fragrances that could even be better than this that are out there that I have still to discover, and that's what blew my mind. And it's crazy that even now, it's still one that I enjoy, I gravitate towards a lot. It's a fragrance that it just really does everything that I want it to do. And I think because of that, it still does get a little bit of attention here and there for the diehard fans of it. It's not going to be a hype monster anymore, but nonetheless, it is a big part of my collection. Next up, we have Perry Ellis 360 Red. So this one I picked up very, very early on because it's a cheapie, still is, $20 or so. And I did get this, I believe, before Profumo. I just know that, you know, even Profumo, Acqua di Gio Profumo was stretching it big time in terms of my budgeting when I was first starting out and when I got that one very early on. And so I also had to really work in some cheapies as well. I didn't have the budget at the time to just pick up a bottle of the original Acqua di Gio. Even at that point, you know, I'm like, man, I could spend the money on it, but I could also spend the money on something else and get something that is similar-ish to the original Acqua di Gio at a fraction of the price, at a quarter of the price. And that's kind of what this one is here. It's Acqua di Gio, original DNA, but with a cinnamon spiciness. And it's very, very cool, very well done. It's a fragrance that, you know, presentation-wise, it is, you don't want to go out in public with it. You definitely do not want to take this to the gym and apply it in the locker room after you work out. Do not do that. But for home use, stash it behind all of your other bottles, and you have a cheapie Acqua di Gio with the spiciness for 25 bucks is what it is. All right, this next one, we have my first ever niche fragrance. First ever, seriously, first ever niche fragrance. It wasn't Creed Aventus, it wasn't Creed Millesime Imperial, it wasn't, you know, Creed whatever, or Parfums de Marly. It was a MANCERA, and it's CEDRAT BOISE. Yeah, this right here. This launched my passion for niche fragrances in the most extreme way possible. And even still, I smell this one, and I'm like, this is the jackpot. This is hitting the jackpot. They did every single possible thing right with this stuff here. Lemon, blackcurrant, woods, like sandalwood, fruity notes. It is a fruity sweet men's fragrance with a whole lot of depth, a nice good amount of richness, a little bit of a complexity, believe it or not, and it's great for all year round. Now, surprisingly, even though it has that fruitiness and just kind of a general woods, I wore it and still do wear it in wintertime a lot. So, and the main reason why is because the performance is monstrous. It's an eau de parfum, but it's a 10, 12 plus hour scent. It's a strong projector consistently. I've never had a bad day, so to speak, wearing this one. And by that, I mean, I've never had a time where it didn't perform good when I was wearing it. Sometimes that does happen. Skin chemistry, weather pattern, whatever, where you wear something and it maybe just doesn't perform as good for you as normal. Never had that issue here. And also, I did go out a little while ago and purchase a new bottle because of reformulation talk, and that one's still a monster. So no worries there. FragranceNet at one point had this one going for $60 recently. $60 for a 120 ml tester. That is just absolutely absurd, crazy. I do encourage you to get subscribed to the channel. I posted that up on my community tab. That thing went like crazy. Make sure you're watching. Make sure you are subscribed. I noticed the views ratio of people who are subscribed and not subscribed are getting better. So people are subscribing, but you have to. You have to. I'm not starting this video again. I'm not continuing until you subscribe. So if you're not and you're watching this, do so now. Let's just get going here. I'm already talking too much. FENDI ACQUA is up next. So this is a unfortunately discontinued one. However, I'm not fully breaking my rules because you can still get this. Now, I do believe that FragranceNet and I think FragranceX, they are sold out, but eBay is not. And there are some good eBay sellers. I actually looked before doing this, so don't get too mad at me. I'm not breaking my own rules that I do play by. You can still get this on eBay. There are bottles out there, and guess what? They're under $50, so it's not crazy. It's always been around in that price point, maybe a little bit less, but the point is if you want it, you can get it still, but probably not for too much longer, and I encourage you to do so. I really have a lot of love for this one. You can go back on my channel at Good Ways and see me talk about it. That is a unique summer fragrance, and it's a shame that they discontinue stuff like this. C notes, pink pepper, and leather. It's just that. It's got a little bit of a leather kick, a bit of a woodiness, a little pink pepper spiciness, but then this fresh kind of C notes aquatic smell. Don't be thrown off by the blue coloration here of the fragrance liquid itself. It's not like a blue ambroxan fragrance at all, quite the opposite. But it's really unique, really well done, and look, it's a refreshing scent. If you're tired of the average, boring, typical summer fragrances, this is not that. And while it is getting harder to find, you can still get it. And so if you want one, I will link it up down below to eBay and you can pick one up for yourself. I may even go ahead and pick up a backup bottle because I surprisingly don't have one. Tommy Bahama Island Life. So here's what's funny. I have a certain description of this one, okay? And I've remembered it for years, ever since I first got this one in. As soon as I smelled it, I kind of came up with that description of what it reminded me of. And I still remember it, okay? And I don't know which video, or maybe even videos I said this in. I haven't talked about this one in a while. But here's a challenge. Go back and find the video where I gave this description. I'm going to give it to you right now. And again, I am not making this up. I remember it's going to be the exact same. This smells like you are on vacation. Somewhere tropical. Doesn't have to be, but somewhere tropical. Maybe you got the beach in front of you. Maybe you're on a lake. Doesn't matter. But you're on vacation. You're maybe staying in a cabin resort. You wake up early in the morning. You go hit up the Keurig or a regular coffee maker. So you're just getting a cup of coffee going. And you take that cup of coffee. Maybe everyone else is still asleep. You go outside to the front porch and you sit down. You've got your coffee. You've got your island life. And you have the beautiful view of the ocean, the lake. That's what this smells like. It's very strange, very weird. It's a woody, spicy scent, but seriously, it's getting all over me. But I don't care, it smells great. You know, it just has this kind of island life smell, truly. It's like you're just in paradise in the morning with your coffee, just enjoying the absolute finest things in life. That's what this one smells like. It's only a $20 to $30 scent. It's not a good performer. It just isn't. It's an eau de cologne. But you know what? It works. And I really don't want it to be a good performer. Because look, I'm spraying this on in the morning when I'm just waking up and I'm having my coffee. I ain't showered yet. So it's going to get washed off anyway when I shower and start my day and then apply my fragrance for the day. This is the perfect transitional fragrance. It's the perfect start your day fragrance. I love it, and it's a cheapie that I've had around for a good while. And last up, we have a big baller fragrance, right? Allure Homme Sport Extreme. I still remember how I felt when I bought this because it was very early on. I should not have been spending money on Chanel's. I definitely shouldn't have. Same even goes for Profumo that I just dropped. Same even goes for Profumo. I actually bought the 4.2 ounce bottle when I was first starting out. That was a good amount of coin as well. Probably up around the same price I paid for this. I should not have been paying that much money on stuff in high school when I was working part-time. But you know what? I did, and I really don't think that if I didn't do that, I would not be here. So I'm glad that I did. Hindsight is 2020. Mint, tonka bean, and okay, I have to cheat. And orange, I knew it. Mint, tonka bean, orange. I'm getting distracted. Can you tell? Fantastic fragrance. Powdery, minty, fresh, kind of sweet. Smells amazing. I don't know. I still remember smelling this for the first time and being like, okay, this is a Chanel. Like, this is a modern, well put together men's fragrance. And that sounds so dumb, but I'm being serious right now. I'm trying to remember how I felt, but like, it gives off the same feeling that Bleu de Chanel gives me, where it just feels like when you smell this, you've made it type of thing is what I'm trying to get at here. Like when I smell this one, I feel like I am successful. And especially when I wear it, I feel like, okay, I feel on top of the world. I feel amazing. This stuff is beautiful. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. That is 7 fragrances that I've been wearing since the very, very beginning. Very beginning. Like these have been around, and without these, we wouldn't be here watching this video today. We just wouldn't. So it's really cool that I get to look back and check these out. And again, a lot of them, Profumo, CEDRAT, and the Chanel here, they're still big. They're still popular. And it's so cool to see that throughout my journey, my time doing this here from the channel, starting out to nothing and growing up, these are still going along with me. Let me know down below, what are some fragrances that you've been wearing since the very beginning? When did you get started collecting? What year? How long has it been? Whatever. Again, for me, 2017, so actually going on 5 years. Completely messed up that math. That's how I know I'm getting old, because 5 years does not sound right. So it's crazy to think that we're all growing up here. So all the people who've been around since the beginning, thank you so much. And if you're new, thank you also. Like, seriously, thank you. Get subscribed. We're posting deals all the time on Community tab. These are linked up down below. Fragrance at 35% off, link down below. Click that to apply the 35% off code so you can save the most amount of money. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.